Welcome to the Nekid Geek. Welcome to the second episode of the Nekid Geek, that is. Tonight, we will be talking about finding your Geek Circle. And we will try our best to stay on topic, but we make no guarantees. Joining us tonight is Megara. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Meg?
So I'm Meg, or Megara, or Megara, or whatever you want to call me. I've been a geek pretty much all my life, on top of being a tomboy. And I met you probably at a convention, if I remember correctly. I mean, life is such a blur at this point, you know.
Right.
But and I just remember the two of us hitting it off pretty much right away, and having pretty much this similar interests, at least, that we could hang out and not be, so you like them sports team that did that thing.
Yay, sports.
Which is pretty much how I interact with almost everybody else in my daily life, because
Grab the ball and make a left turn.
Who wants to talk about anime or comics or stuff like that?
Yeah.
Occasionally I'll have somebody talk about like a new Marvel film, and I'm like, I still haven't seen like most of them at this point.
Yeah.
Because I have a life and it's busy.
Yeah, me too. I have to say I'm rather behind on the Marvel films, though I did get to see Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I did see that.
While Baby Groot was a bit of a marketing scheme, he was adorable.
Yeah.
You can't help but love him.
Yeah. I'll admit I did. Okay, so I read the comics growing up.
Yeah.
So
and
I was always a big Rocket fan.
Yeah, Rocket's awesome.
Who's not gonna love a talking, semi-homicidal raccoon that's genetically modified, who has a best friend that's a tree?
Right?
It's just a great combination.
Yeah.
So, I was actually talking. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say the only thing that really irked me about that movie is who his dad was. And I don't want to get into any spoilers or anything, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. I was a little bit let down, especially with the way that they played it out.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely could have gone in a stronger direction, but they're trying to make a franchise out of it, so I can give them credit that at least it's going to go further with that plot line. Whereas if they had gone in another direction, it would have been, well, kind of, sort of, like with what everybody was thinking. They're thinking it was Thanos, and I was like, kind of going with your sister then if you go that way. But, okay.
I have to say I've seen the new previews for the Infinity Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how you've been seeing the after credits with Thanos in it and all this and that?
Yeah.
Have you seen the new previews?
I've seen parts of them.
Okay, but you saw how Thanos looks.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it just me, or have they changed?
Like Papa Smurf.
Huh?
Literally, like, just a giant Papa Smurf.
Kinda, but my question is, like, is it just me, or does it look like they changed him from those after credit kind of clips?
Well, I think he's kind of like an ever-evolving character, because just of how the character is. He's this ungodly being that, so he kind of would change his appearance every so often, and not necessarily by his own admission.
Yeah.
I mean, you see what he did to what's the other daughter's name? Not Gamora.
Oh, the one played by
Karen Gilligan.
Yeah, I love her. She's great.
You know, if you do that to your own kid, what's that gonna do to you?
Yeah.
Especially if you're like this all-powerful being, that's gonna corrupt you in some way, and they have to kind of physically show that. So I think that's kind of what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
As well as giving him more of a like almost like Hades-esque like feel, because he is this kind of demi-death god of sorts. Or at least that's how he's being portrayed right now.
Yeah. But in the comics, wasn't he trying to get with Lady Death?
Yeah, at some point. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, then again, what would getting with Lady Death do to you? I'm pretty sure that would drain you of some of your nice humanish coloring.
Might make you a little stiff.
More ways than one, right?
But yeah, so we're gonna try to stay on topic today.
Try.
Yeah. But yeah, so today's topic, or this episode's topic, is finding your geek circle. Now,
yeah.
I don't know about you, but since high school let up, it's a lot harder to find more people of similar interests. Now, the conventions have been a marvelous thing for me.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. Unless like I meet you in a situation where, you know, feel like I'm more free to be myself, like a convention. I'm not one of those people to really open up and be like, hey, I like this thing that you like. Let's be friends.
Right.
I'm like, oh, cool. You like that too. I'm gonna go over here. I've always been that way. I'm better at introducing people to other people, even if I don't know them.
Yeah.
Like I used to embarrass my older brother all the time by overhearing that he thought so and so was cute. I didn't know so and so, but I would be like, "Hey, go take me over here," which happens. And then we detour over to so and so and be like, "Hey, my name's Meg, and this is my older brother, and he's so cute." And then I'd walk away.
Hold on, you're breaking up. Can you repeat that last part again?
Yeah, so I was always the kid. I would
Yeah, right at the you wouldn't know who he was talking about, but
so we would detour over to where so and so was, and then
man, you just keep
I would
cutting.
Hi, I'm Meg,
There.
and this is my brother. Hold on, let me think. It's because my leg is shaking. Is that better? Doing better? Maybe.
Thus far. Hang on one second. Maybe it's because I'm trying to do a post on Facebook too. Who knows? Let me finish this post real quick. I'm just trying to share it with everybody else. Out this month's podcast. Boom. There. Now. An error has occurred. Process request.
So.
There's an error.
Well, of course there's an error.
Oh, you know, whenever I'm doing something, there's got to be an error.
Of course. But, I would introduce myself to so-and-so, let them know that my name's Meg, this is my older brother, and leave my brothers, skip back to our parents or wherever we had been, leaving my brother standing in front of his crush or somebody he thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Whereas if I wanted to be friends with somebody who I thought was super cool or I had a crush on them, it would be, hey, you should go talk to them. No, I will not. You cannot make me. You'd probably hold a gun to my head and I would budge maybe a foot closer and then wait or stare awkwardly at them, until they came over and was like, did I do something wrong?
Right.
No, I'm absolutely terrible at making friends, in that sense. And conventions, like I said, are definitely something that helped me open up. I've made numerous friends that are now like lifetime friends. Like Antonia, who we have a friend we have in common.
Yeah.
I met through you actually, in the convention world. And then it was just kind of like, hey, you're a geek too. Hey, I've been reading your comics for the last or whatever it was. And but trying to make friends as an adult, and at least from my perspective, even being a mom, it gets like infinitely harder.
Oh yeah.
Because, I have to, think, well, are my friends going to be okay if I bring my kid along to this game thing that we're doing? They don't have kids. Are they going to be upset that I brought her along? Is this appropriate enough that she can, play the game with us, or she can do the activity with us and it's not going to, affect her negatively?
Yeah.
Got
to take a lot into account being a parent.
Yeah. So it's definitely it gives me a bit more stress and anxiety about making friends. Had that, you're creepy, and as a female, I tend to attract the weirdos.
Weirdos? No.
I attract the weirdos. So, then I have to be like, okay, we're just gonna cut the ties right now. Like, you're giving me these weird vibes. I'm not gonna be friends with you for that sole fact. And I'm not gonna let my kid around you either.
Yeah.
So
good to follow your instincts on that, though. Yeah.
But I mean, definitely conventions, even going to the comic book shops that are local.
Oh yeah.
Game shops and stuff like that, specialty stores. You can find some really great people. And even if you're not necessarily open, I'll go to Magic tournaments every so often. I'm not a really big avid player.
I'm terrible at it, but I like it.
But I have a lot of fun playing.
Oh yeah.
And when my partner goes, he has a bunch of decks that just destroy people, and they're the stupidest decks ever. They're decks that shouldn't work. They shouldn't work at all, and they do.
My buddy has a green deck, and I guess he had just one time put it together real simple, and whenever he plays with that deck, he demolishes everybody. It just I've played with him, he's played with a few other people, and I'm just watching these people who have spent this time building these decks, and he doesn't even have any of those specialty cards. These are all common or just slightly above cards that he just happens to have. And they trample everybody.
He has this one deck that is I want to say it's an angel vampire deck.
Yeah.
Basically, it steals all of your life, but then he's just constantly getting more life from this deck. And just the stupidity of the entire thing. But we'll go to matches every so often. or meet up with a couple friends and just play. And you'll have people kind of gather around and they're talking to us, and it's like, yeah, what is going on with your deck? I'm like, he's too busy playing. So I'm like, yeah, it's shenanigans. This is basically what he is. He's a giant ball of shenanigans. And, it's like the only reason that the two of us are together, there are like two factors. One, my one friend really pushed me to confess that I had feelings for him. And then my was decided that he was daddy because she realized that we had feelings for each other. And it was just kind of like awkward. Hey, I like you. I guess we're gonna do this thing now. Okay. And now we've just become this dynamic duo of sorts, corrupting this small, innocent. That was a fib. Innocent, my but my child. She's corrupted us.
He's just adding structure to the corruption.
Yes. If she ever takes over the world, I can't take all the credit now.
Yeah.
But, like, I didn't even think that I would be able to find anybody weird like me, that I could see a future with, really. Especially being awkward and geeky.
Yeah.
And then again, from my point of view as a female, you always get those guys. You're a fake gamer. You're only doing it for the guys. You can't really play, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, shut up.
It's sad, but I've started to realize a pattern. I think that's more like, if you're a tabletop gamer, I don't think, well, if you're a female tabletop gamer, I don't think you get as much crap as if you're an online gamer.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous.
I've gotten crap for being a tabletop gamer as well.
Yeah, but it's not as often.
It's not as often because it's not one of those things that you really bring up to people. Whereas like everybody's like Call of Duty, Heroes of Storm, League of Legends.
I didn't know you played Heroes of the Storm.
I don't. But Dan does, so I watch him play all the time. I know all about the characters, and
I'm terrible at it. Now, it's a great game.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. Right now, if I had my desktop set up, I would probably play.
Yeah.
Just because it looks like it's a lot of fun. It looks like it's more entertaining than League of Legends was.
I've never played League of Legends.
It's really similar. It just League of Legends had less objectives and more capture this, and everybody would just like go straight for like the end game and not try to do any of the like objectives and stuff like that, where I like kind of doing the side quests and getting the bonuses and whatnot, getting extra kills.
That's why I like World of Warcraft, and I get sidetracked on all the side quests.
Side quest? Ooh, a side quest for the side quest.
Who needs the main adventure? Let's go on the side quest.
Right. Yeah. I played WoW for a couple years, and I actually stopped playing because of a catfishing adventure.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Long story, super dumb. Basically, I was a dumb teenager. We'll go with that. And then the guy was a complete and total disaster. And I was just like, you know what? I came down for Christmas break. You ignored me for the entire time
Yeah.
to play WoW. So I'm gonna go home and not play WoW
Oh
anymore.
no, you let a guy ruin WoW for you?
I did. I did.
No.
But in that of losing my WoW that I had to pay for, I found PWI, which is Perfect World International,
Yeah.
which is essentially WoW. You can get like premium stuff if you pay your actual money. And it's I want to say it's Chinese based, just because of all the text is usually Chinese unless you actually mod it. But or at least if you used to mod it, you don't have to anymore. But it's essentially WoW, but free.
Okay.
And you can get like you can work your way up to like the premium stuff as like if you do like a ton of farming.
Yeah.
But you know,
I tell you,
so
there used to be this game, it's probably still around, and I really liked it. It was low graphics, 16-bit,
yeah,
8-bit, something like that. And, MMO, and it was an RPG called Endless Online.
I don't think I ever played that, but I know the name.
And it was just simple, and, like, eventually I revisited it after not playing for a while, because, life gets in the way. But I remember when I first started, somebody like showed me all these secret passages and how to find certain stuff, and it was great and it was wonderful. And then I get back on like a year and a half or a few years later or something like that, and the servers are packed. Like you get in the town and there's everybody everywhere.
Oh, God, I hate when that stuff happens. Like
Right.
suddenly the game is like booming. It's like, what? No, go away.
And of course, I remembered my username and password, and I still have all this stuff. And I think they had a few extra servers by then, but I didn't want to leave the server with all my stuff.
Yeah. It would be nice if like games like that would let you move to like a slower server,
Right.
with all your stuff. It's like, look, too many people, too much a lag is going on.
Oh, yeah.
Just let me move, give me my stuff. Let me pay like maybe like a certain amount of like in-game currency to do this move, and it's basically like moving towns.
Oh, yeah. It's
Like
like
people
with
do it real.
WoW, like the sad part with WoW is like you got to pay a premium to get your character switched to another server.
Yeah. No.
I almost played League of Legends, I think, once, but I remember looking up my name on there, and I'm like, nah, somebody has Catnip Ninja. I'm not going to play this.
Of course you did. Yeah.
It's like, that's my name.
That's my name. No, we need to go find that person and just be like, "Excuse me, that's his name."
I don't think that'll go over too well if they still play even. It didn't look
Probably
like...
not.
Oops, sorry. Hang on.
Yep.
I knocked my pop filter, spit filter thing into the mic.
Dude, smooth.
Well, I'm not used to talking into one of these cool mics like a radio DJ.
Ooh, France.
But
Oh,
but yeah, going back to our original subject.
going back eventually. We'll get back there.
Oh yeah.
Um,
It's amazing like how much technology we have at our disposal nowadays compared to what we used. Like chat rooms used to be great for getting to know people. And then
yeah.
because of the pedophiles, the bots, and the spam porn advertisements, they got shut down one after another.
Yeah.
I love.
Either that, or they just in general like became a like all about sex. Whether not, I'm not even talking about like people being pedophiles or linking like all the porn links and whatnot. I'm talking about, hey, ASL, do you want to date? You want to be my girlfriend? Hey, let's cyber. I'm like, dude, I just met you 5 minutes ago. I just want to talk.
Let me try a Chris Griffin impression. Do you have a webcam?
Oh,
But yeah, it was that or roleplay, and most of the roleplay was starting to get to that level too.
yeah. I I was involved in like multiple role plays, and then
Oh god,
it
me
would go
too.
to like my character is suddenly interested in your character. Do you want to go private and take this our characters to the next level? I'm like, no, we're done. My
I
my character suddenly has amnesia and doesn't remember anything.
I remember I used to do a lot of like the RP fighting stuff and everything,
Mhm.
and um, it got to the point where like my fingers just glided across the keyboard and I was good at it and everything, and then
Mhm.
people came in and started making rules up to like the role play, like if you don't follow the rules you can't, you're not gonna
Yeah,
win, and it's just like, really, because I was doing just fine before this came
yeah,
along. And it's just like, well, you need to have so many paragraphs but not go over this many paragraphs. I'm like, that doesn't give anybody a chance to reply. You can say you punch me up into the sky, flip me over, and I don't have a chance to intervene. Nah, that's not cool.
yeah. No, especially then you get into people like Mary suing, and just
I'm not
my
familiar with
character.
that.
Mary suing is the concept where a character um knows all the things, can do all the things, has read all the things. Um, they're basically like if you know karate, they knew karate, jitsu, judo, uh,
So they're Batmaning.
yeah. I always called it Mary suing though. I don't remember where I got that concept, but
Oh,
yeah,
it's neat though.
it's um so you'd have characters that would just be like, yeah, so my character's gonna punch you in the face and I'm just gonna keep pummeling you, and then I'm gonna use my magic powers and
Kai
bring your
blast you.
soul out, bring your soul out and like make you watch as I continue to pummel you. And like, all right.
I tried to get back into the whole RP thing, but I just feel so awkward now. It
Yeah.
doesn't sit well at all to me. I still do like,
Yeah.
I guess you call it like micro RP, where I do the hugs and stuff when I'm texting somebody
Yeah.
like, "Hey, hugs," but I don't
Yeah. I did
do
that too.
anything. Yeah, it doesn't go
I
past
used
that.
I used to do it like it never got like as far as anything sexual or whatever. It was just like platonic relationships on Gaia Online.
I love
Yeah.
Gaia. Oh, you make me angry and happy bringing that up, because I kept losing my passwords, but I like I knew my sets of passwords, what I would have used,
Hmm.
and no matter what I typed in, it wouldn't let me log in, and it made me so
Yeah.
angry. I lost 3 amazing characters off of that.
Yeah, same. Somebody hacked my Gaia
Yeah.
account, and they apparently somehow had enough information that like I hadn't been on for months at this time, and I got like went to go log on, couldn't log on. I was like sent an email like, hey, this should be my password. I've tried other passwords. I tried, you know, getting an email sent to me so I could reset my password, but it's saying that that email isn't registered, and that's the email I used. because I have like all these other emails from Gaia, from months ago to this password for this account. And is there any way you can like get my account back? Because obviously it's been stolen. And they're like, well, this person, said that this is their account and that blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, well, 5 years at that point of Gaia Online just gone down the toilet.
I had some of the coolest stuff too, like old stuff that you couldn't get anymore.
Yes. Oh, I had my mule character that like I transferred him on gold to for a while, or like I made gold off of and whatnot. All of that gone.
Ugh.
I was so upset, but like luckily I never paid like actual money for it, so guess I'm not too upset about.
Yeah, same here, but like nowadays you hear, or not nowadays, but like several years back you heard about like people selling off their old stuff in real life to somebody for like $7,000, and it's like,
True.
Oh, I could have done that.
Yeah. Especially like when you get like the limited edition like anniversary gifts or like the special event things.
Right?
And you like spent like hours sitting there grinding for all of the event items.
Days.
Like, just need the entire set. I'm never going to use this entire set. I can almost guarantee I'm going to use that one item.
Right.
Constantly.
And all the hats. The hats.
Yes.
Oh.
The hat. The... God. I love that. My character, I had random people like always like message me like, dude, your character is so sweet. Where'd you get? I'm like, yeah, I did a lot of grinding for that. Like, oh man, you mean I can't get anymore? No, you cannot find it in any store.
See, that irritates me to a degree, because it's like, I get it, but I also don't get it, because it's not fair to some people that, say, for instance, were born later and they couldn't get on Gaia till later, or even World of Warcraft, for instance. So it's like, oh, that awesome mount, that awesome pet, that awesome whatever.
Yeah. Well, at least with like World of Warcraft, I do know every so often they'll have like a sale, or at least they did.
Oh, they still have sales on pets and mounts, but
like they have like the sales every so often where you can get like older armors and older mounts and stuff like that, but it's only for like a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
it's not even like a full day usually.
Oh wow.
But it's one of those things. It's like you have to be online at this certain time. But no, so getting back on the topic, like we should. I made so many great friends just from like chat rooms, and you know, and it was one of those things like growing up because we grew up more in an age where we didn't have cell phones. You have like kids nowadays that, or my daughter's age of 7 and they have like a cell phone or a smart device of some sort.
Back in my day,
we didn't have smartphones. If we wanted to watch a rock, we went outside and watched it, not on the tube of you. No. But, we were kind of growing up with the computer age. So it was new
to
have all this. Yeah.
Pagers.
Oh God.
The original text messages.
Yeah. Oh God, what is it? 4379 help. Oh God, do you remember sending your friend a text message 8008?
No, but I know what you mean.
Boob.
I usually
No.
added a 5 on the end
True.
because one's not enough.
You would.
I would.
You would.
But yeah, nowadays, like, see, I can't get into the forums. Like, I mean, I can. I'm capable of it, but it's just, I like the instant reply possibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why,
I
yeah, that's why
I that.
go ahead. Sorry.
No, go. That's all I was saying. Sorry.
No, you're fine. That's why I kind of like Facebook with the groups and stuff. You can, once you get a good rapport with somebody, you can add them to Messenger, and then
Yeah.
chat it up. God, I miss messengers. Like, Facebook
Yeah.
Messenger's okay, but I miss MSN Messenger, Yahoo Messenger.
AIM, which just finally.
I'm so sad about that. I didn't use it, granted, because, they didn't keep it up or keep the chat room, so what was the point?
Yeah.
But it was just, it's like a piece of history right there.
Yeah. No, I remember MSN group chats
Oh,
where you would it was like a status update. Like you change your name to something that's current in your life. Like Meg is currently like flirting with the possibility of love. And then everybody was like, "Ooh, Meg, what's going on?"
Oh
And
my
you're
God.
like, "Oh, nothing. You'll find out."
Oh my God.
It was like just stupid stuff. It wasn't like you wouldn't even actually have anybody in mind. You just like wanted the attention.
So,
And then
oh, go ahead. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
no. So it was just like stupid stuff like that
Oh, yeah.
in the giant group chats of your friends that you'd kind of collected off of random whatevers.
Right. Well, that's the problem with messengers nowadays. You still have a couple of them, but
Mhm.
you have to make friends in order to talk to them on there. And
Yeah.
forming a group, you've got to decide who's going to mesh well together, and that's kind of along the topic, finding a circle of people that mesh well together.
Yeah.
And it's okay to have multiple circles or have a circle or two and people outside scattered around, but
Mhm.
it's so much easier when you have places and stuff that, like, even chat rooms as a place. It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical place. By the way, chat rooms are back.
In what sense? I've been living under a rock apparently. Actually, I have because I don't have TV anymore. I get on internet on my phone.
They're back in one area.
Okay.
You have a cell phone, so you'll be able to access it. It's not on. You can't access it from a computer unless you have one of those apps that lets you do cell phone stuff. But have you heard of the app called Kick?
Yes.
They have this thing called groups, which are pretty much chat rooms, but they renamed them, or they call them groups. You can make your own. You can search for them. A lot of it is used for either sex, role play, or bombarded with stuff. But it's pretty cool. It reminded me of, chat rooms, and I'm like, okay. I joined a couple. I'm really only active in about one, and I'm now an admin, but
Yeah. Tends to be how it goes.
Oh, it took like 2 days and I was an admin. They're like, yeah, you follow the rules, you know the rules, you keep everybody in task, you're an admin. I'm like, oh, cool.
I will have to give that a look because I have Kick. I mainly use it to talk to like a few friends that every so often they lose like actual cell service.
Yeah. Oh, it's good for that, but yeah.
And then like a couple friends that like I've met on the, I guess you could call it a game, but it's technically a virtual chat site, IMVU.
Oh yeah, you had me join that once.
Yeah, I did.
I'll have to try to remember my. Wait, was that an MSN thing?
There was a lot of people that like you used to be able to connect it to MSN.
Yeah.
I don't think it connects anymore.
Yeah, so I probably wouldn't be able to log back in. I'm pretty sure I went through MSN. It
You would be able to, it just wouldn't, like, you wouldn't be able to. The MSN aspect of it was so that you could like automatically add friends from MSN
yeah.
and chat with them through that service, or chat with people that were looking for you if you were just on MSN.
Yeah.
So it won't let you do it like that anymore. You would just be talking to people on the service itself.
I don't even think my MSN is active anymore. I think I let it lapse, like,
Yeah.
the 30 days and everything. I still have my original Yahoo email address, though, which I won't say out
Yeah.
loud.
I'm pretty sure my MSN account is dead. Although I wish I hadn't have let it die, because I had some emails that I should have had saved.
Same here.
Oh,
They meant a lot to me, and, like, now they're
yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Now all I have is the Yahoo ones, which I go back and I look, and I try to look up people from there. All those
Hmm.
emails are deactivated, or, whatever. I get the, what is
Yeah.
it called? Mailer Damon? I always call it Mailer Demon.
Yeah, same. This person no longer exists. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
how dare they?
right?
But no, like there are a couple people that jokingly, like, this isn't even like part of like a role play or anything like this at this point. Um, but so my characters on there is Red Rum. One of the names is Red Rum, and there's another character that happens to have red in his name. And my character is always like super tiny, and his character is always super large. So, and everybody always calls him Red. Well, we would be in the room together, and they'd say Red, and we'd both kind of go, yes? Which one are you talking to? So he became Big Red, and I became Little Red. And so then people just started assuming that we were like brother and sister. So like now I talk to him on Kick every so often. I'm like, hey, Big Red, what's up, bro? He's like, shut up, you're not my sister. Yes, I am. The internet deemed it so. But we'll get on to the IMVU every so often and chat on there, and jokingly, uh, kind of like jokingly role play, just like being siblings, just to throw people off because it irks them, especially if somebody's like romantically interested in him. They get really upset that there's a girl climbing on him, and then I'm like, hey, bro. And we're like, wait, you're his sister? I'm like, on here? And they're like, are you like involved with him? I'm like, no, I'm in a relationship. I've never done anything remotely close to that stuff that you're thinking in your head right now.
An indirect
With
kiss?
no. I I think the closest we got to any sort of romantic relationship was the fact that I went into his bag and I stole a waffle. Why he had waffles in his bag, I don't remember. But
That's
now it's our like our thing. He hands me waffles and I eat them.
I just picture him going, "That's not my bag, baby."
Why?
You know me.
I do.
But yeah, I'm glad that they brought chat rooms back now, and I know like there's stuff like IMVU where you can connect, and
Mhm.
Facebook, obviously you got groups there, which I think is awesome because I've joined a few and I've chatted up a few people, and I think I've added a couple of people from those groups.
Oh
Uh,
no.
but the internet, like they've really limited it since then, mainly obviously because of good reasons, but they limited everything as opposed to just what they needed to. It's like with
Yeah.
YouTube currently. No offense, YouTube. Don't flag me or anything. Uh, there, there's so much that they have to go through. See,
Hmm.
I'm doing good for you, YouTube. uh, they have to count on an algorithm to find the bad stuff and weed it out, and that algorithm
Yeah.
is still learning.
Yeah.
So a lot of videos and stuff are getting like demonetized and everything.
Hmm.
So, and I get it, you know, there's only so much one person can do, and a bot can only understand so much.
Yeah. And especially with just like even just talking about like the algorithm aspect of YouTube right now, my daughter has a school issued iPad. It's
Uh-oh.
currently out of commission because she destroyed it, but that's another thing. Um, but there are
She's an angel. How dare you?
an angel that's Halo is being held up by two very large horns. Yes.
Only two?
Um, though there are a couple more sprouting. Um, but there the big craze right now for not even just her age group, but like all throughout her school, they constantly are sending updates like make sure your kid's not getting on YouTube and watching these unboxing videos, because apparently there are channels that are dedicated to, you know, unboxing, and not just like stuff like Loot Crate and Nerd Block and like those where they're geek related or they're adults just unboxing this cool stuff that they bought.
Yeah.
But it kids that are or oriented toward kids, and it's adults opening them and then they're saying kind of inappropriate things.
Yeah.
Um
And I feel
and
like they
so
should tag themselves as mature content.
yeah. But it's aimed toward the kids because they're from what something that I was reading about, it's um trying to lure like um the more susceptible kids towards, you know, being groomed. So I like in that aspect it's kind of bringing back like the pedos of the chat room,
Yeah.
but in the modern age. And it's one of the things we need. The people need to be more vigilant about, you know, what kids are watching, what is going on in the internet, because at least in this day and age, you put something out on the internet and it's staying out on the internet whether you regret it in 5 minutes or if you regret it in 5 years.
So I regret it the second it comes out of my mouth. Um, but
Well,
yeah, I actually recently watched a Philip DeFranco video talking about
mhm.
all of this. There's a lot of demented stuff on YouTube Kids, and YouTube's been
Yeah.
cracking down recently.
Yeah, and I definitely give kudos to YouTube for doing stuff like that because, you know, the last thing we need is, you know, more scary stuff to happen in this world. You know, we
Oh,
already
yeah.
live a pretty terrifying time.
Tell me about it.
And, you know, it's always nice to, you know, find somebody that can actually you can relate to and is not giving you those weird creepy vibes, and then you can be like, hey, you want to like hang out in real life and like do that thing, you know? And then you're like, yeah, and you find out like this person is completely awesome, and you know you both like D&D.
Oh yeah.
You both can play this cool video game, or you know these random board games that you have lying around that nobody else will play with you because they think they're stupid.
When I played
And
D&D, when we had a nice sized group,
mhm.
my DM, my poor DM, he would throw different stuff at us, and the stuff that we were supposed to walk right through would dang near kill us. But the stuff that we should not be able to even scratch the surface of, we would kill.
Mhm.
And it perplexed him something awful. But, you know, we're like level 1 and he throws a troll at us and we kill it in like 3 moves, and it's just like, how? But you throw a cobalt at us and we're level 5 and we die instantly. It's like...
I unfortunately, my D&D group actually just broke up about a year and a half ago, which was really devastating because I had been playing with these guys I started playing with them, I think, my sophomore year of high school. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, we didn't play every single weekend. We didn't play, every single month even. And this is like at least our 20th campaign together, but we, for the most part, if your character didn't completely die last campaign, you could continue to use them. And so somehow my original character is like the only character that's surviving from the original campaign.
I have stories.
Oh, I have stories too. But we broke it up for the sole fact that the DM's wife didn't like that he was playing. There were 2 other girls in the group with us.
Oh, jealousy.
And she didn't like that he was playing games with the other females. And, it was like, I'm not interested in him at all. They're not interested. We all have partners. In fact, the other girls that were playing with us, their partners were part of the group at that point. They'd either been dating since high school or they started kind of a relationship after high school.
Oh yeah.
So, but it wasn't with him. She had no interest in playing D&D. So she kind of requested that the group get dismantled or that the females leave.
That's messed up. I hate that.
And so, but we had such a great group going. My character was a halfling rogue. That in the last campaign that we played, it was more her based, because he wanted to play. I never really did a backstory for her, aside from the fact that she was a halfling rogue that was raised by elves. Nice. Because he wanted to throw in some weird twist, and I'm like, okay, fine, I was raised by elves. And he goes, all right. The village that we're starting this campaign is right next to a forest that is prominent with elves, so I'm running with it. Okay, fine. I was like so easily distracted that he made a ball of shiny, which is literally what it was called, was the ball of shiny. And if the group was talking to this important quest guy, and I was getting bored because I didn't care, and somebody would just kind of dangle the ball of shiny, or they'd throw it up in the air and it would dangle around and like do flips and stuff, and I would just kind of stare at it and be like, ooh, a shiny, I'm gonna grab it, but I can't reach it. Crap.
The laser pointer of the D&D group.
Yeah. I was jokingly called the Princess Peach for a couple campaigns because my character kept getting kidnapped. They would turn their backs on me for like 2 seconds. I wouldn't have even gotten distracted, but I would just get spontaneously kidnapped. And like right before that first campaign where I started getting kidnapped, we had gotten infinity items, and mine was infinity pants. So I had pockets that like had infinite dimensions in them. And I had like super high charisma, and like
good luck getting into your pants.
Exactly. I had super high charisma, but at this point, like, my stealth was, like, relatively low, just because of how I built the character.
Yeah.
So, like, I couldn't sneak away from my kidnappers. Like, it was high enough that I could rob them blind, but it was low enough that I couldn't run away from them without them realizing it.
That's terrible.
So, at one point in time, the group finds me, and I'm with a group of orcs that have somehow kidnapped me. And the orcs are all really super puzzled because they swear they were just eating their like fish or whatever on a plate with a fork. But they can't find the plate now, and they definitely can't find the fork. And I'm sitting there going, like, making sure that my pocket's not clanking. I'm like, "Hi guys, what's up?" And then we go to a temple, and it happens to be guarded by a dragon that happens to be female, very aggressive because, unbeknownst to us, she had just laid eggs.
And her boyfriend just left her.
Probably. You know how dragons are.
All the time. Drama, drama, drama.
Right? But group is off fighting all the things. My stealth and whatnot has gotten high enough that I just waltz through this temple. I go to the heart of the temple, and I'm looking around. Nothing in the chest interests me, so I leave it alone. But I see a pile of really shiny things.
Oh no.
And I put one of them in my pocket because it's a shiny rock. And then later, we're trying to find the item, like, the item that we went to this temple isn't there. Went to the temple for isn't there. Because, it was the other shiny thing that I liked. So I put it in the pocket, not realizing that was the shiny thing we were supposed to be looking for because I wasn't listening. And, so, we go back to the village. We're trying to find money, scavenge money up to stay in. So they're like, "Well, do you have any money?" And I'm like, "Yeah, hold on." I just like start emptying my pockets out, like putting like half my body into my pocket to dig stuff out. And then, they're, going, "Well, I can't believe that item that was looted before we got there. I thought that guy said that temple hadn't been like explored in decades, blah blah blah." And then I happen to pull it out of my pocket. Like, "You really?" I'm like, "It's shiny. You guys should know better than to let me go off." And like, "We just need a leash for you or something." I'm like, "No, you don't." And then at some point in time, like going into the same pocket, I was like, "Ow, something burned me." And, then I realized that, or somebody else realizes that shiny object that I took happened to be a dragon's egg.
Oh no.
Apparently, my pocket was warm enough that the dragon egg hatched.
Oh no.
In my pocket, mind you. So you have a adolescent dragon at this point in in its own universe in my pocket. It's too large to come out of the small space that is my pocket opening. So I just have a dragon in my pocket. It came in very useful.
How'd you feed it?
I would drop stuff in. Just be like, "Hey, I need," like, we would go to the inn and order a ton of food.
Yeah.
For me. The innkeepers would look at me really oddly as I shoved giant drumsticks and, whole chickens into my pocket and then pull bones out. Mr. Fluffy was very well fed.
You want to see my pocket dragon?
Yeah. If only I'd been a guy, that would have been a perfect line. Want to see my pocket dragon? No, really, I have a dragon in my pocket. Look.
Um,
Oh, I have that. Oh, you want to see that? The one that breathes fire.
oh,
Whoops.
I have a similar story to your pocket dragon story.
Okay.
So this was back around the time I started playing D&D. It might have been my first campaign. I can't remember.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think it was. I think it was somebody else's first campaign. But yeah, it definitely was somebody else's first campaign. We go into this kind of rundown thing. I don't remember what it was, but we just miss a slime falling on our heads. So I'm looking at this slime and I'm like, huh. And I have alchemy and stuff, so I take a copper piece and I scrape some of the slime off and I stick it in this vial. I'm like, I'm gonna save that for later. I might do something with it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the new guy, he's like, I'm gonna touch it.
That's always a good thing. Touch this. Okay.
Well, I was a warforged, so, you know, I guess it didn't want to attack me because it didn't sense any kind of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he stuck his hand in it, and he was human. That didn't go well. Since it was his first time, our DM was nice, and his hand just shriveled up. All burnt from acid and whatnot, and he's just like, ah! And he let him heal himself with healing spells and whatnot. But yeah, there was a waste of some healing spells. But I carried that vial of slime around, trying to feed it different things for many, 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 many D&D sessions. Until we got into some trouble, and the only thing I could think of was to try to throw that at somebody, hoping, you know, it might do a little bit of damage.
Slime attack.
I missed. I think my first campaign, I actually, when I went to a bar, I kept the mug and I filled it with sand to use as an attack. Pocket sand, ka-cha!
Oh,
But,
at least it's not pocket glitter. That could do
oh,
some real damage.
no.
All right, so you missed with the slime.
Oh yeah, and it shattered, and it's, like sessions and sessions of work trying to get this thing to grow so I could turn it into a pet were gone.
Oh, poor Slimy.
Yeah, he sacrificed himself in vain.
Didn't even go out with it by hitting something.
No,
No hero death for him.
no. And speaking of how your character would always, what'd you say, run off and
Run off.
oh, Princess
Kidnap.
Peach, yeah. My character was always the one who would survive a total party wipe.
Yeah.
And like it was ridiculous. It was like this curse because like I didn't want to like have everybody else start at level 1 and me be like level 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
One time I got all the way up to 10. And you know, me raising the challenge rating for the group, that would just be mean.
Yeah.
Or me fighting weaklings and not getting any experience. That would just suck.
What we
So
tended to do in our group, we had a really good dynamic of we started with making multiple characters
yeah.
of like they had to be different from like our characters. So I couldn't have another halfling rogue. I think I had like an elf mage. I had a cleric at some point that I think was like really ridiculous because it wasn't a race that should have been a cleric, but it was. I want to say it was an orc or something.
Have you ever watched Standard Action?
No. What was that?
Have you ever watched Standard Action?
I don't think so.
It's on YouTube. I recommend looking it up. There's a bunch of like kind of oddball characters like that. Like there's a elf barbarian.
Nice.
So
All right.
it's funny. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just like
No, you're fine.
thank
But
you.
we all had like 4 or 5 characters, so that way if total party wipeout, um everybody else could like it wasn't, oh crap, now I have to like start over and completely make a character and you're gonna be super high. We'd always start at level 1 with each other.
Yeah.
And then when everybody else got to a certain point, you could kind of elect to let your character, if you wanted to go back to one of your other characters that happened to still be alive, you could kind of just be like, oh, this character decides to go back home or can't do it because of like religious beliefs. Like the cleric can't do it because it goes against their moral standing.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's semi-believable. Hey, look who it is. It's necromancer with no character. Like, no character morals whatsoever. Here to save the day, and kind of, I guess. Not really save the day. More like raise the dead.
Yeah.
But, you know, we had that really good group dynamic where we could do stuff like that, and it didn't really interrupt the flow.
Oh, yeah.
Much. And my partner and I we're trying to, he still has a D&D group and a gaming group in general that he plays with.
Are you saying you need one? Because I know a good DM that could use a group.
I am looking for a new group, yeah. It's right now, my only big issue is just scheduling. Since my work schedule is so ridiculous at the moment.
I know the feeling.
It's like I'm closing 3 nights a week, and they happen to be the nights that pretty much everybody else would have off.
Let me guess. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, and Monday.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a conflictor, because I work Sundays, but not all day,
yeah.
So maybe. But we'll figure it out. I'll get you in contact.
Okay. Like I want to play again.
So do we.
It's one of those things that Prue also really wants to start playing D&D.
Oh, he's really good with letting kids play too. So.
Like she thinks it's stupid, but she really wants to play because she knows how much like we have fun playing.
Yeah.
And she's watched people play on like I'll have what's Josh Whedon's YouTube channel, or not YouTube channel, Twitch channel. I'll have that up every so often, and she loves watching him play with fellow nerds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she loves watching The Guild, which is essentially like a live action play of real world going on with people playing a WoW based video game. And whoa, I can hear myself. That's weird. So she has interest in playing. She loves playing like games in general. So we're definitely trying to expand like her knowledge of board games and not just video games. And it's one of those things like we tried. I think you were part of the discussion with when we were trying to start the LARP.
Oh yeah, that was cool sounding.
I still want to get that going just because it could be a lot of fun, especially if we did it the way we planned to do it, where it was more family based and not adults only.
Yeah.
That just restricts a lot of, the adults that grew up playing, doing LARP and, bringing your kid into it. You can have more fun, more family time.
Oh, yeah.
And, it definitely gives kids an outlet for their imagination.
Yeah.
And especially if you can do it like on a weekend or something like that. and then they have like this great adventure. It's like
a great space adventure.
We went in the woods and we hunted a troll. Like what? We're going to outer space, apparently.
I I think it's really important. Like nowadays, it's not so bad, but D&D still has a bit of a bad rap from back in the day where it first started out, and you had different stuff like people assuming it's evil, people assuming it's a cult, and the one kid who killed himself because his character sheet got ripped up didn't help things. Yeah.
No, of course not.
And his character sheet got ripped up, and that probably was an emotional moment for him. But I don't think D&D's to blame for that.
Yeah, I feel like there was definitely something else that that the media, or not even the media at this point, like people in general weren't told.
Yeah.
Because of I've had character sheets ripped up before.
I haven't. My DM.
Not from the DM that I liked.
Yeah.
We had like a kind of temporary DM for a while he was out of state. He was on an internship, and his replacement for the time was we'll call him a dictator to be nice. But if he didn't like how your character did a thing, or if you had like too many failed initiative rolls or whatever, and which is not your character sheet's fault at all, or the way you build your character. At that point, it's just luck.
Right.
And he would rip the sheet up and be like, "Nope, we're not playing this character anymore." And I was like,
"That's so stupid."
I'm like, okay, well.
It sounds like he was just childish.
He was. He honestly was.
See, our DM is pretty nice. Like he had a kind of house rule. You get one like escape from death kind of thing. So it's like, per character kind of thing, or per group thing. So we'd be in a situation, a character died, and it's just like, do you want to keep your character? And he'd come up with some way that they survived, as long as it's within belief. Like, if your character got dropped into like a mulcher or whatever that chops up wood and spits out mulch, you're not getting out of that too easily.
Yeah.
Or took a fireball at point blank range kind of thing, which obviously a fireball's only going to do X amount of damage for whatever, but
yeah,
you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I had one character. This is the first D&D campaign I ever played. I was in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only girl in the group, and all of the guys were drawing this out as they were having the campaign.
Yeah.
And I couldn't draw worth shit for at the time. My skills have definitely improved, but not by much. But they had already started the campaign when I joined in. And they're like, "Well, we have too many people for the party already. So do you just want to be like a side character that doesn't really do anything?" I'm like, "Sure." I had a massive crush on the one guy. Like, massive. And
make a sense motives check.
Yeah, exactly. So he suggested that I be like an animal, and then I could kind of just tag along and just kind of be like their mascot or something like that. It's like, yeah, I can do that.
Like they do on the Discovery Channel?
Oh, really now? We're gonna quote Bullet Hell Gang?
Sorry. Not sorry.
No, you're not. But basically my character entered via a mode of death. My character was a cat who they came out of a portal into not necessarily our world, but a world similar to ours where there were like there's cars and stuff like that. Well, they were trying to find the right place that they needed to go, or something stupid along those lines. And
I hate it when that happens.
Cat. Yeah, I'm just this innocent cat crossing a busy intersection. You know, assuming that I have 9 lives. Oh. And I get run over. My body gets thrown into the grass. And then rolled over by a lawnmower. And, you know, everybody else is examining the gore, and they're like, dude, do you see that cat just get killed?
The cat came back the very next day.
Cat came back the very next second that they all realized that there was a cat sitting on his shoulder. That didn't rhyme or sound musical at all, but...
That's okay. If I do too much of the songs, I get copyright strikes.
Oh, no.
I don't want that.
But...
I want good standing with YouTube.
Right. But my collar, or the bell from my collar, and, like, some piece of flesh or something like that survived and landed on my crush's... Ooh. On his shoulder. And, you know, the guys suddenly realized that what was left of my body was, like, disappearing and not, like, being eaten by wildlife or, you know, sinking into the ground or something like that. Like, it was just vanishing. And he goes, oh, guys, there's a cat. And I was just kind of, like, stuck on his shoulder for the rest of the campaign. And I would just kind of, like, cat. I'd just, like, jump off every so often, like, get stuff. But I was always, like, on his shoulder. And...
Let me whisper sweet nothings in your ear, meow.
It was, like, everybody else in the group knew that I had a huge crush on him.
Except for him. I'm still friends with a couple of the guys from that group. And the one was telling me that he knew I had a crush, and he kept, like, constantly trying to tell him, dude, she totally likes you. Dude, she likes you. And he didn't believe them at all. See, I can relate to that because, like, okay, so in high school, in middle school, in whatever school I would go to, I just kind of did, you know how there's different groups. There's supposedly like the jocks and everybody, you know,
yeah,
they mix and mash, but for the most part, there's about that.
There's a clear line, but like there's mingling between them.
I never was in any of those. I made up my own little group. Like, I started off by myself. I'd see somebody with like a cool shirt, and like I had no like shame or anything. I saw something I liked. I just spoke up. I'm like, hey, I like your shirt. And it's like, oh, thanks. Mind if I sit here? So you like anime too, huh?
Yeah.
It's just, it's just the way I was. I couldn't help it. Like, popped out. I forgot where I was going with this.
I was awkward, and I couldn't get the guy to like me.
I remember. Now, throughout high school, I couldn't seem to, like, I never really found a relationship because, like, I'm like, man, guess no girls really find me that kind of guy. Fast forward, I'm in a party after high school. Yeah, that's right. I attend parties now. um, and I forget what I had said, but some girl, or the girl at the party, had brought up, it's like, man, all these girls liked you. I'm like, I wish somebody would have told me. And then I do remember one girl came up to me and she's like, hey, she likes you. But it was just so, like, the way she said it, I'm just like, uh-huh, sure. And I just walked off because I was like, yeah, I'm not falling for that.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's, I don't know. It just seemed so fake. It's just like, this is one of those situations where they're going to do something to make fun of me. I'm good.
Yeah.
I can do without that.
Yeah. I when it comes to like groups like that were in high school and middle school and whatnot, in middle school definitely I didn't have a like set group. There were like we had assigned tables and you could it was assigned by I think like your class and then like last names, and they try to kind of shuffle people up so you weren't only sitting with like people with the S last names or something like that. And then after a couple weeks, like when you're sixth graders and you didn't know anybody, you could kind of after a couple weeks you could then, you know, mix your tables up as long as it was like 6 or less. You could, or 7 or less, because the tables were set up weird that you could have 8 people, but they didn't want 8 people sitting at a table. You could mix and match and whatnot. And I would go from sitting with one group to sitting with another the next day, sitting with the guys that I played D&D with. And just because I didn't like sitting with the same group every day, sometimes they would annoy me. Or there would be drama going on and I didn't want to be involved in the drama.
Yeah.
So
Oh, drama.
yeah, drama is always fun. I will actually be right back. My daughter just got up, so I'm gonna see what's going on with her.
That's
and then
fine.
I'll be back. So
I'll talk about the subject in the meantime.
all right, I'll be back in a few.
All right. But yeah, there's a lot of resources to find your own little circle group. Click, whatever you want to call it. And like I said, Facebook's a great way, because I'm not trying to say, I don't know, I'm not talking up Facebook, but just Facebook groups are awesome because you can create your own, you can find them, and the search is really easy. Same with Kick. Kick has groups, but Kick is more like chat rooms, because it's instant reply. It's, if they're in the group, they see what you say, you know. But besides that, I think Google Plus has groups, and if you wanted to, like Meg was saying, there's local game stores, there's libraries. Libraries sometimes have kind of groups, and if you have a library card, and I'm not sure how old you have to be, but you can kind of rent out the rooms for free. So you could have make a little club group, whatever, and have meetings like once a month or whatever if you wanted. There's a bunch of ways to create, find, and make circles, but I don't know.
I'm back, by the way.
Welcome back. I heard something. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it was me.
Good timing. I was starting to stutter on my words.
I heard. Definitely playing on what I walked back into with like renting a room. Definitely like community rooms.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't even touch on community centers.
Yeah, there are community centers. Like I work at a restaurant that mine in particular doesn't have a community room. But like a lot of the franchises in different locations do, where I do believe you have to pay to rent them. but they're not that expensive,
Oh yeah.
and they're pretty big, so you can get like a nice sized group going and have like food at one end, even, and then have like spread the tables out and whatnot. Um,
Well,
and
building on that, let's say you're starting like a RPG group, tabletop gaming. It's not uncommon to like go to an all-you-can-eat buffet.
yeah, true.
It's like all you need is your character sheet and some dice. As long as you're not taking up a lot of space, nobody's going to say anything.
Yeah,
And if you're worried about it, you can always ask, the owner. It's like, hey, we want to come here
yeah.
and eat and play.
Well,
Ah,
we have a group of old ladies that comes into my workplace in particular. And we refer to them as the Mahjong ladies or the bridge ladies, whatever, depends on what they're playing that day.
yeah.
But they get one of the tables, and I mean, this table, it's not a very big table. It's a two-seater, but they usually just get like two more chairs from another table, and set up, and they play Mahjong, they play like dominoes, they'll play card games, and they're they're not rowdy or anything like that. They keep to themselves. If you go up to them and talk to them, they're super friendly. They tell you like how you can play the game.
Let you join
Which
in.
Yeah, they'll let you join in a round or something like that. Show you like, oh well, this piece would be best to be placed right here just because of blah blah blah. Which it's one of those things like it's not necessarily geek gaming, but it's geeking out in their own like way. And
Well, a topic
I
for another day is everyone's a geek.
true.
Like
um
I love the fact that now jocks, the people who used to be known for picking on nerds and geeks,
mhm.
now have fantasy football. That
Yeah,
just tickles me so much.
it's like, so you're making fun of me for playing D&D, but you're literally playing D&D with football players.
Oh, somebody made the comparison of like, it's like you're making fun of me for dressing up and going into a social environment, and yet you painted your body and went to a football game. I
Right.
don't really see a difference.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mine at least. Yeah. Okay. So bringing up that, like the difference between LARP, the worst that's gonna happen to you, because most of the time you're pretty well covered. Um, you are prepared for the season that you're in, so you're definitely going to have sunblock on.
or a
The
winter
worst,
coat.
or winter coat, or a cloak, depending on like how into it you actually are. Um,
I miss cloaks. I wish they'd bring cloaks back.
dude, we're gonna bring cloaks back. We'll do it.
Okay.
You and me. We'll
Actually,
start this back.
I don't even mind if you just get a cowl, because, it's like a
Yeah,
cloak can be too bulky sometimes, but a cowl is awesome. It just looks so
yeah,
cool.
definitely. But no, like the worst that's gonna happen with like LARPing, you know, you might get like a couple scrapes or bruises or something like that. But then you have a cool story. It's like, yeah, I got in a fight with so and so, and they hit me with a sword. What? Yeah,
That brings me back
my
to my
character
sparring days.
my character lost a limb. It's okay. They'll live. It's just a flesh wound there,
Oh
you
God.
know.
Yeah, like I said, it really reminds me of when I used to spar a lot. I thankfully don't do it as much now. Like, I haven't done it in quite a while, but I would like to get my skills back up, because
Yeah.
my sweet skills with the bow staff. Uh, but no, seriously, I like, I got, okay, so I would get welts, bruises,
Mm.
and there is a possibility that my retinal detachment came from that. I don't know where they got that from, but um, yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of soreness.
Yeah. But it was like good sore.
Yeah, well, the only thing is, like, in the wintertime, there was kind of a pro-con sort of thing, or con-pro. When you got hit, it hurt more, but you also had instant ice on the ground where you could stick your hand in it to soothe it.
Yeah.
It's like,
No, but like from what I've seen from like the people that go, I'll go to soccer games every so often. I love soccer, especially like our current issue with our local team, the trying to take them out of the state or whatever. But I'm trying to support them as much as I can. But whenever you go to like sports games or whatever, and you have the people that have their bodies painted or whatnot, they never put sunscreen on. So like days after, they have like these big letter prints all over them because they didn't think to put sunscreen on the rest of their body or cover the rest of their body in some way or shape or form. So it's obvious that they did that thing where it's like I can, I have bruises now from like work and whatnot. I can hide them with my work clothes or, maybe some makeup, but you can't hide sunburn forever.
Here's something I'm surprised it isn't out yet, and if somebody wants to make it and, give me 5%, somebody needs to make sunscreen stencils. Like, full-on stencils, like, an outline of, like, a character or something, and you wipe the sunscreen over it, and then you pull it off, and boom. 10 hours later, you've got
kind of like reverse, like, henna or something like that?
Yeah, kind of. It's like, all it would take is, like, a sticker sheet, and you just kind of cut out the reverse pattern and put it on. Hopefully you get a sun tan and not a sunburn, but
yeah, I mean, you could always also do it with like the spray tan stuff, or
what'd be really good is to do like 2 levels of tan. Like you do you use the stencil with like the rub on, and then you do a lighter level with the spray tan, like SPF 15. I don't know what the SPFs are, but
I wouldn't know either. I don't do that type of stuff.
No.
I relish in my natural glow of pale. But that could be really cool.
You just reminded me of a comic. It's just like, you're not that pale. Oh, really? And she lifts up her arm, and it's like, my eyes!
Light the beacons!
Yes! You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. But, no, yeah, I definitely, think it's hilarious that, the kids that used to beat us up or, make fun of us, for being different, for liking stuff that at the time wasn't really popular, are now doing something pretty similar.
Right.
Just relabeling what it is. Granted, their characters don't have superpower, like special powers or whatnot, but they get like certain stats and whatnot. You're playing D&D with sports.
How's your football D&D going? Shut up. It's not D&D. It's fantasy football. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's what you're gonna call it. I'm gonna call it this because that's what it is. But
blockers or forward guard in football. I honestly don't know if I just actually mixed up 2 different sports or not, because apologies guys if you like that sort of thing. Honestly, cool, good. I'm just finding it funny, the correlation between the two.
Yeah, I'm not bashing anybody who likes sports in
I
any way, shape, or form.
I
I
honestly
enjoy,
wish I did because some of the camaraderie, you got walk by a bar and you see everybody cheering together. That's
yeah.
amazing. And by
Dude,
the way,
you know
that's a
what I'd
great
love?
way.
I would love like a bar that was,
A
dedicated
tavern.
to yeah, a tavern more appropriately. Dedicated to like geek culture
Oh god, yeah.
where, you had like the premieres of this show, you know, that everybody's been anticipating. Like people are like, "Yeah, no, he did that. What?" And just like having fun and like,
And
they'll be like every so often you'll have like places that will do like anime nights or something like
oh
that,
yeah.
like where and they do trivia and stuff like that.
Keep
But
going.
give
I
me
need
a bar.
to my cat's getting into something. I'll be right back. Keep
Okay.
going.
Like give me a bar that or a tavern that does like this 24/7. They have or not 24/7, but enough where people can like hang out and find other people that they wouldn't normally meet in the setting because I know a lot of people like young people will meet up at bars and stuff like that, but I don't personally go to bars, so I'm not going to go into a bar and start talking to somebody about something that I have no interest in. um so it's like if we had more of a place that people could meet and have it not more dedicated toward sports or you know certain dynamics that everybody's not just generally interested in, um it could be really beneficial to people that might not have that good group dynamic, or even good people skills where they can just go like, hey, you have a shirt that has this reference that is to this show or this book or movie or comic that I like, because that can be really difficult, especially like the setting. You can't always go up to somebody and be like, hey, cool shirt, or I recognize that logo that you happen to have on you. And so that would definitely, be beneficial for awkward people.
Definitely. I have no idea what you just said, but yes, definitely.
Just embellishing on like a tavern that was more geek.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh, did you know there's a
Food.
cat cafe coming to Ohio?
There is.
There is. It's not open yet. They're working on it. But I heard through the grapevine that there's one coming. I'll let you know when I find out more.
All right. I will have to stock up on allergy medication and just get all the cat love.
And the cats will be adoptable. I
We
know.
can't tell,
I
we
know.
can't tell the child about this. She wants a pet already.
Shh. Call ahead, be like, I'm bringing my daughter. Do not let them know they're adoptable.
Dude, no. Don't. I no.
Oh, and I have to apologize and state that I did lie. And I just drank too much water and had to go. So, but when I said my cat was getting into something, he sleeping behind me. He raised his head, opened one eye, and just gave me this look like, really, dude? Really?
I mean, if we're gonna be truthful about that, I totally lied about Prue having to get up. I was like, I have to pee. I just drained like an entire can of tea, and I was like, yeah, that was a bad idea.
I got this metal cup, which holds like
Mhm.
2 cups worth of sweet tea,
Okay.
and I've drank like 2 bottles of water with that, and I was like,
I regret this decision.
and you're in the middle of something, and I'm like, I keep going. Cat. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, no, you're good. Oh, but just like finding people can just be so difficult in like bar settings
Yeah,
You have people that they all have that thing in common.
I don't. Just mixing alcohol and bars are typically either you're going there to let off stress, you're going
Mhm.
there to just relax and have fun, or you're going there to find somebody. And I'm sure there's some other reasons too that I'm not thinking of right off the
Yeah.
bat. But I don't want to go to a drinking environment if I'm honest. Like,
Yeah. I I have personal reasons for why I don't drink. Like, I'll drink every now and then, but I don't like to drink. Um, I'll admit to it. I was a um pretty like I was the only way I got through high school was functioning with alcohol in my system pretty much 24/7.
oh my goodness, I did not know that.
Yeah, I was going through a really tough time, and that was the only way that I could function without um going becoming like super destructive. If that makes any sort of sense, like it was destructive for myself, and I happened to realize that.
So you were having the same kind of thing half probably of high schoolers have, but you were just channeling it better.
Better in a sense, yes. Um,
Yeah.
it was like a lot of like just emotions that I hadn't dealt with through from like depression and stuff like that. And kind of up, and I was just like, well, you know what? I have access to a liquor cabinet because my mom trusts me, and happen to have adult friends that
Alcohol is poison. If alcohol is poison, why
are
do you drink things? There's things inside of me I want dead.
to kill. Yes. I happen to have adult like, and when I say adult friends, I mean like I was 15. They knew that I was 15. They weren't trying to get in my pants type situation. We met at a convention or something like that, and we had a good relationship that was just built on, hey, you like this thing, I like that thing too, but you're a younging, I'm going to take care of you, on their end. And occasionally they would buy alcohol, and I would kind of just be like, can I have a sip of that? And then they'd end up buying me my own alcohol.
Well,
Like,
no. For legal purposes, they didn't buy you that. It just happened to show up.
true. I didn't give her that alcohol. They didn't give me alcohol at all. I
Uh,
just happened to take their cup by accident, thinking it was mine, right?
right. Underage
Um,
drinking is a bad thing, people.
yes. I'm not condoning that at all. In fact, I've told my daughter very, very often if I ever find out that she is drinking outside of my household, like because I'm one of those parents. If she wants to do something,
Better
it's
in
not
your
checked.
supervision.
Better in my supervision, where if anything goes wrong, I can take her to the emergency services if need be. You know, where I would rather have her home instead of calling me because she's drunk at a party or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning, buying alcohol for minors, whether they be your children or somebody else's, definitely not. But no, alcohol helped me get through high school, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I don't remember where I was going with this.
So if you're going through a tough time,
Oh,
seek.
so I remembered where we were going. So I don't want to go back to alcohol when I'm stressed out. Now I have a better way of coping with stress. Like I'll chill in front of Netflix and watch a couple like animes or something like that, or pop in a DVD and watch some anime that I have, or I'll
It's
book. And I'd rather do that instead of drink. And I don't even like socially drinking,
Right?
just because it becomes, I feel like becomes a challenging environment
Yeah.
be, because some people are very competitive about, hey, I can drink more than you can, or hey, you want to take shots every time so and so scores on that thing. Um,
See, let's do it different. Let's get a jar of pickle juice. We'll take shots of that every time somebody's.
Ew.
Okay, maybe I'll have an advantage. I like dill pickles, so dill pickle juice is good.
I don't like pickles. Dan, like
I only like dill. I don't know what it is. Any other kind is nasty to me.
the kid could eat pickle. Like the only reason that the pickles that are in my fridge right now have remained in my fridge is because she can't get the lid off of them by herself. Otherwise, that pickle jar would be completely empty right now and not have like 5 pickles left.
I think I know what I'm getting her for Christmas.
Please don't. The pickle farts are horrible.
What, you don't want her going around with one of those multi-tiered jar size like openers?
No, no, I do not.
Okay, fine. But yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Like, see, my problem is like there's tasty stuff where you mix it and you don't taste anything. I can mix stuff really well, but I
Yeah.
digress. Especially since I use Everclear. But you know, packs a punch, you don't even taste it,
True.
and that's part of the problem because it's like I'm just gonna have one. Man, that tasted really good. I want some more.
Right.
But I haven't drank in a while, like a long time, because I don't.
I so my partner happens to do the pick six at his workplace of Kroger.
Mm-hmm.
So every so often, like when he gets something new in, he'll bring it home, and he doesn't drink. He doesn't drink at all. But he'll bring them home, and he's like, "Hey, try this, just because I think you might like it. It's more of a sweet beer, or if it's more of a cider, something like that. I'll give it a try." And then I have more of like I can tell him more about like the flavoring and stuff like that. So if somebody asks him about it,
Oh,
um
okay.
he can tell them like, well, she thought it was like really sweet, and the flavor was more, you could taste the honey more than you could taste like anything else in it, because like the one that he had me try, it wasn't uh it was made with honey and not with wheat. So I believe it was one of the gluten-free ones.
So kind of like
um
mead.
yeah, so it tasted more like drinking like a weak tea that you put like a lot of honey into. Um,
I'm sorry,
so
I got to interrupt for a second. You just reminded me. I watched Boss Baby.
okay, I haven't seen that yet.
Well, there's a scene where it's just like, they don't know how to make tea because they had like this kid like picked up one of their Long Islands and it's just like, and he's like, ugh, and he threw it down.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No, last one I watched that was similar was Storks.
I haven't seen that yet.
I love Storks. Wolfpack, form of boat. What? How is that possible?
The only thing I've seen from that is a bit of the wolf pack form, and
Mhm.
a clip of the wolves. It's like, I'm gonna eat him. I'm gonna eat him.
I'm in love. Are you in love? I'm in love. I'm in love. We're getting this is now part of the pack. Okay? I'm like, okay. But yeah, no, like definitely like we geeks and nerds, because at least in the last couple of years or so, there's definitely been like in my childhood, there was always like a distinct separation between nerds and between geeks.
Oh yeah, I think
Between,
it's mainly to deal with like geeks are more of uh the stuff they like versus nerds are more like book smart type stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah, but like definitely in the last like couple years, I've noticed it's becoming more of a blend
Yeah,
because a lot of things are getting, you know, video games are getting expand like add-ons with that are books. Um, like the Star Wars not even trilogy. I almost called it trilogy. The Star Wars franchise,
the trilogy.
you know,
I'm just
has
fine.
has so many books out there now that is based on um certain like characters. They have video games out. They have things that branch out and make it easier for everybody to enjoy
Yeah,
that certain thing. So you can't really just say this is for geeks only or this is for nerds only anymore.
I like the
It's
fact that
kind of,
those walls are breaking down. Like
yeah.
I think yeah, there is a distinction between the two, but
Mhm.
you can be both. Like,
Yeah. And
um,
it's definitely, I
uh,
feel like you definitely have more um more things that open up to you if
yeah,
you're opening, like if you're giving that opening, because it gives somebody that might not necessarily be, book smart, but they're eager to learn about that stuff. It gives them more of a chance to, be in on something that somebody is enjoying, and they can kind of learn to enjoy that as well.
yeah,
And it gives you something that, if you develop a friendship that's, you're a nerd and you're a geek, or you have a nerd and a geek, and they start to share interests, that just forms a bigger bond. And then you have, you can kind of make a click out of that and have a group that's more diverse, you know?
oh yeah. Well, like, I'm gonna keep going back to D&D for reference. It's like, a
Yeah.
kind of mathlete type nerd might like D&D because,
Hmm.
you got to calculate the numbers with the dice rolls and
Hmm.
your abilities and everything to get the right results. And you kind of
Hmm.
the faster you can do it, the better it is.
Yeah.
Um, and they might play D&D with a geek that isn't as good with the numbers, takes them a little
Hmm.
bit longer, but they just love the game.
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly. But I do have to throw out there, because I was thinking about it, how you got catfished on WoW and
Hmm.
everything else. Yeah, it's great to find people to create your circles and find circles that you can join and everything. But be careful
Yeah.
and be
Especially in the media
smart.
age.
Yeah, be
And
very smart, because um, don't don't be stupid. Don't go to places alone to people you don't know. And
yeah, definitely. I'm one of those people. I'm always all about that. If you're going out for the night, whether you're going to drink or whether you're going to play games with, even like at King's, what is it, Kingmaker, or the 6-bit video game arcades that we have around here now.
oh yeah, the
Um,
barcades,
yeah,
16-bit,
have a have a
level
friend with
one.
you, just because you know if one of you gets in a situation, you're much safer having somebody that can get you at least back home
Yeah,
than you are, having to, you know, be alone and wait for an Uber.
yeah,
And it's like, yes, we have like Uber, we have Lyft and whatnot that are readily available now, more so than like taxi services really are. You but
you don't
you
want to be
still
dangerous. Yeah,
you don't want to be dangerous. You don't want to put yourself into that sort of situation. Um,
and
and
I know a lot of people get into it like it's like, well, I know him, I trust him, or I know her, I trust her, and they go because they've talked to him online and like,
yeah,
maybe you do, but be safe, because there are people who pretend to be somebody they're not, and while
Yeah.
that would suck if that were the case, better to have a friend with you and insist on a double date,
Yeah.
yeah, than go by yourself and have something really bad happen.
Yeah. And then even if like it's going fine, the person is who they say they are and whatnot, but it also gives you like an out that you don't have to stay out all night,
Yeah.
you know, and you're not just making an excuse, well, I have work in the morning or something like that, or trying to come up with some excuse. If you just want to go home, you're tired, you know, whatever. You also have now you have another person that's, well, we both have work in the morning and they're my ride.
Yeah.
Or she's getting really tired, she doesn't feel good, she's obviously like super drunk right now. I need to take her home.
Or
You know?
I'm bad at night driving, my vision's not that great, I need a second person in the car with me to
Yeah.
keep
Just
an eye
make sure
out.
that I'm,
Yeah.
keep me awake. I'm, something like that. And I definitely just in this, I mean, I guess it's been around for as long as, dating has been around. Like you can always lie and be somebody you're not.
Take out an ad
But
in paper.
yeah, but it's a lot easier in this day and age because you can create a new identity. I can go on Yahoo right now and create a brand new email address and, go on to some random chat site,
Steal a picture.
pretending that steal a picture from the internet.
And if you really want
Pretending
to
that
play it close to home, you can always steal one that looks somewhat similar to you. Be like, oh, that
Yeah.
was from me back in high school.
Yeah. Or like a picture that's, actually you, but like not showing enough of your face or your body to really be identifiable.
This was my Halloween costume.
Yeah. And, but you can just go like anywhere online right now and be somebody else and have somebody, want to meet up. And then they find out that, oh, you're not actually, Mary Jane from
From Parkersville.
Mary. Yeah, right. And it's like, and then you like kind of stuck there because, well, you went there alone, and now you have to put up with Joe, not Mary, because Joe is pretending to be 18-year-old innocent Mary when he's like 30-year-old Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And
tell me I'm pretty.
oh, I can't, Joe. You're not.
You don't like my pigtails?
No, Joe, no. But, and this isn't, I'm not even saying this is not just for girls.
No.
Because it is, just because you're a guy doesn't mean you're safe from anything.
Oh, definitely not.
And there are so many ways nowadays that you can, stun guns, pepper spray, drugs, you name it, it's out there, and it can take you down a notch. It can inebriate you, and just play it safe, especially if you're meeting somebody that for the first time, even for the third or fourth time, play it safe. That way, if anything even seems remotely off, you have some way to get out of there without it being overly awkward. And you can just kind of play it off. Well, I mean, I have to get home because of this reason and not just um well, I guess I need to go home. I'm gonna go call my taxi and then you can hang out with me because I'm stuck here. Literally just stuck here.
Yeah. I got a tattle on myself real quick. So, with you, I'm so used to being on Skype and seeing your picture move that I just flipped over to the chat to see if anybody said something, and somebody did. So, hi there. And I flipped back to the software I'm using, OBS, in case anybody's wondering, because I have one heck of a time figuring out what to use. So, OBS is cool. And I'm looking at the picture waiting for it to move. I'm just like looking, I'm like, oh, she's frozen. I'll wait a second while you're talking. I'm just looking. I'm like, that's a picture. Come on. And then I go to lean back in my chair, and one of the levers flipped, so I start to fly backward. 2 natural ones in a row.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So proud.
Thank you. But yeah, it's important to be safe, but it's also important to find people that you can really click with.
Yeah. And I mean, there are definitely the resources out there, like we stated.
Yeah. And there's many more. Like, you can go to forums.
Yeah.
Am I pronouncing that right? Forums?
Yeah.
I just personally...
The chat rooms of long form.
Yeah. I just personally prefer a little more instant communication if you don't mind waiting. And I think some of them you can sign up with email that it'll alert you when somebody replies, so that's cool too.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you like YouTube, join in on the comments. Somebody might reply to you. You can get into a little reply loop, and you might make friends that way.
I don't know if you just heard that, like, my...
Echo, yeah.
My phone suddenly was like, hey, Catnip Ninja's online.
Woo.
I'm like, I know. And, like, I went to, like, flip it off my phone, and it started this podcast.
Oh, yeah. That's one cool podcast.
Yeah.
It does have me as Nekid Geek, right?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Just making sure.
But I don't even think that's the one that pulled me up to. Weird.
The person who they might just be a bot or something, just commenting to comment and get somebody to follow their page or something, because it's called Virals.tv. But there's this...
Here, I'm pulling up live chat right now.
Okay. There's this like little picture with like a electric plug, I guess you'd say.
I see it.
And then it looks like a little like thing with flexing its things, and a heart and a yeah, and I'm just like, that's neat. But I can't keep the screen up.
There.
Yay!
Yeah, I'll keep it up.
Cool.
So, I'll
it really likes everything for me to have that up at the same time as the software.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I'm fine with it. I have you on my tablet right now, and I can just have that up on my phone.
You know what? Why didn't I think of that? I have a phone. I got a new phone.
Ooh.
I know.
Okay.
I switched back from the iPhone. I finally tried iPhone. It's all right. It's not bad. I missed Android though.
Yeah, I can understand that. I just got a new phone too, actually. I went from, what was it? I had the S5 originally.
Me too.
And I jumped up to the 8.
Me too. Like, I went S5, screen started flickering, got my friend's old iPhone 5, iPhone 5S, and then day or two ago, I switched to the Galaxy S8.
Nice. Do you have the Plus, or do you have like the regular?
The only difference between the regular and the Plus is possibility of bigger storage, battery, and screen size. But the battery's only better to accommodate the screen size. So it's like, I have a slot. I don't need that much. I can put a card in the slot. I'm good.
Yeah. I went with the smaller one, so just the regular S8 for the sole fact that it fits in my work pants. Whereas the plus or edge or whatever they called it,
Yeah.
it was just slightly too large to fit in my work pants, which made it annoying because like constantly throughout work, like I'm going into the freezer, I'm going into, a walk-in oven to put like cookies or something in, and last thing you want is your phone falling out and shattering.
Yeah. Having something too large for your pants is a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like that sounds like a personal problem there.
it can be. Um, so I immediately went to Five Below because I wanted a case, but I didn't want to pay,
Mhm.
Sprint prices for a case. No offense, Sprint. Hey, if you want to sponsor me. uh,
Yeah.
I I
One
went
of
to
those things, like
go ahead.
I actually didn't pay for my case at all.
I'm listening.
I'm lucky enough to have an amazing partner who I trust. And you know me, I don't trust anybody with like my technology or my stuff because it's come back to me broken. I we went to the Sprint store to get my new phone.
Mm-hmm.
They were like having an issue transferring something over because the wire was being stupid. But I left for work without my phone. He had my phone. Well, the store had my phone, but he was there. And he brought my new phone into work and bought the case and the screen protector and everything for me. And I was
Nice.
just kind of like, I am going to pay you back. And he's like, no, you're not. So he
See,
bought me like a really nice OtterBox case. So
that's the way relationships are supposed to be. You don't just
yeah,
follow on a holiday just to get somebody a gift.
yeah.
You do the little things.
You do
Grant
the little thing.
Granted, otter boxes are expensive, but I digress.
I mean, this thing has survived falling in the in our walk-in oven.
Okay, as long as you don't say the toilet. That's so gross.
No. Oh God.
Thankfully,
No.
I don't have one of those thigh gaps. I got a good old lightning and thunder here.
Same here. Yeah. The thigh chafe is real.
Cornstarch.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things though with black work pants.
I I know, I know.
Um, Usually I just use like a swipe of deodorant down the side
Yeah, I
just
heard
for
that that works.
it just
Does it like work really well?
it depends on the type of deodorant and it depends on how much you sweat during the day.
See, there's
Uh,
also a bit of trouble. Like, you got a little bit easier. You don't have to worry about, anything extra down there for interference.
I don't, luckily.
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah, it's one of those things you just kind of have to find something that works for. Ooh, sorry.
But
I
yeah,
might have just hit the mic. I do apologize if I did.
you might have just what?
I might have just hit the mic. I apologize if I did.
Oh, well, I heard some commotion, but I wasn't sure what it was, so maybe. But,
I was like readjusting my sitting position.
ah,
So, um, but yeah, it's thigh gap problem is not a problem here.
right?
It's more of a um clashing of the
Titans?
titans. I like that we both worked at Titans.
I'm right there with you.
So, but
Uh-oh.
what?
Okay, never mind. I had a sneeze coming and it kind of faded. It'll probably come back, so be forewarned. Yeah,
Alright.
but I went to Five Below Oh, but before I move on back to that, um, it thoughts. Excuse me. Told you.
Bless you.
Um, no judging, no judgment here. If you got a thigh gap, you don't have a thigh gap. You're big, you're small, you're awesome. As long as you're
Yeah.
awesome,
Body positivity.
right?
I'm the first to admit, and this is a true story.
Okay.
And at one point in time, before the last year and a half that I've actually had like my own like legit vehicle,
It's so nice to have a vehicle again.
right, yeah. I rode the bus a lot, to job, to get my daughter to school or whatever. It was convenient. It was relatively cheap, especially if you got a bus pass. And at one point in time, there was a girl, and
Just one?
she was with a group of friends or something, but this girl in particular was, this is not a judgment of her body, at all, but she was a twig.
Okay.
But she was kind of like scrunching her stomach down and like, so that you have like that roll of skin. It wasn't fat or anything. Like this was literally.
Oh, so she's lost that weight.
Yeah, she didn't have any of that weight. But like she was like scrunching her body down so that it looked like she might have fat.
I thought you were saying like she had loose skin as if she had weight
No,
before,
no,
but okay,
no.
I see what you're saying.
She was a skin and bones person, and she like pinches this like a little bit of skin, and it's not fat at all. And she goes, "I'm so fat. I need to lose weight," and like pulling at this like bit of skin, implying that she's fat. And at this point, I didn't have my headphones in like I normally would. And I think I was getting ready to get off the bus or something. But like because I was standing up, so I had been getting ready to get off the bus. And, I'm not a small girl, but I'm not a large girl by any definition. But I definitely have some fat on me. And
did you walk up and be like, "I'm so skinny, I need to gain weight"?
No, so what I actually did, I said, "You're not fat. I'm not fat." And she goes, "Excuse me?" And I, in my infinite wisdom, and much to her horror, and to the little old lady who was sitting next to us,
Oh, dear
delight,
God.
I take both of my hands onto my belly, and I jiggle like my bit of belly fat, and I go, "I'm not fat, but I got some jiggle."
Oh my God, really?
I did. And she was like, this little old lady just like starts applauding. She goes, "Right on. You can be like the size of the moon, and you're not fat until you start thinking that you're fat. And you're not fat until your doctor tells you that you need to lose some weight just for your health purposes. But if you're a bigger bone person, that is no right to be calling, you little stick figure saying that you need to lose weight." And it's like, I was like, right on, old lady.
Right.
I jiggled my fat on the bus at some girl.
No.
That was that
I I hate it that like people will put down skinny people to try to make a point. Like it's like nobody, only a dog wants a twig, and it's just like, why do you gotta go there? Like, why can't you say you're beautiful too, or you are beautiful?
Whenever people say like, dogs don't go for dogs want meat, not bone. Dogs will go for whatever the fuck they want. You put a bone in front of a dog and you put a steak in front of the dog. The dog's most likely gonna go for the bone, put the bone under, like bury the bone for a moment, go for the meat, and then go back to the bone and start chewing on it because you gave him two things and he doesn't have to pick.
You're going for the wrong part of this analogy here. I hate that people feel like they need to put one person down to raise another person up. You know, there's way too much of that, and you can't help who you're attracted to. It's like it's like the whole thing with racism. Like there is racism, but there's also people who are actually attracted to certain features which happen to be part of a certain race, and you can be racist, or you could just like I don't know, give me a race, just any of them, and it's like
Asian.
Asian, you just like Asian, something about them.
Typically small. They have relatively young-looking features. They're gonna be more petite.
Yeah.
And that's not even, that's literally just based on the facts.
Yeah.
In this is not going for all Asians. This is just going for a majority.
Yeah.
The media view, they're going to be more petite, more youthful looking, and they're going to have that more of a childlike appearance, but not with like that weird creepiness of being a child.
Yeah.
And they age better. They do.
Well, not to criticize or anything, but like I do have to point out, it's like Asian people, it's not necessarily that they age better. It's just like it's all delayed until a certain age, and then it happens all at once.
Yeah, true. That is true. But I mean, I feel like you can say that for almost any race, because white men, some of them age very, very well.
I hate those guys.
Some of them age very, very poorly, and but I mean, it all depends on its genetics,
and how you take care of your body,
and how you take care of your body.
That can play a huge factor.
And it's like you don't.
I think I lost.
Like in a situation.
You're breaking up.
Can you hear me? All right, hold on. Let me readjust. Maybe.
You're still going in and out.
Kind of. Huh.
Sounding better now.
Maybe.
Huh?
Okay.
Okay. Come in, Meg. Meg, come in.
I'm here. Over and out. Something. I don't know radio talk.
I'm not very good at it either. You're better. You're not perfect, but I think it's better than that.
I think my internet might be starting to crap out.
No. I suppose we'll have to do with 2 hours and 15 minutes of podcast.
How dare we?
Right?
But definitely, like, body positivity is the greatest thing, especially if you have a group of friends that, supports you in, whether it be you losing weight or gaining muscle or putting on weight because you don't feel good in your own skin, or you need to gain weight for medical reasons or something like that.
Or even if you just like being bigger. Like, here's my thing. As long as it's healthy, I don't care. There's somebody who likes...
As long as it's not dangerous to yourself.
Yeah.
Do what is good for you. Don't let what society thinks and what other people in general think you should look like be the standard of what you should look like.
I actually have an OhioCon story.
Okay.
Um, I have a friend who went to OhioCon, and I didn't know this was her at the time. I didn't see this. I heard about it
Okay.
later. She decided to go through the con with just body paint up top. You couldn't see anything, but you know, she did get told, she had to put something on and whatnot. And I heard these two guys talking about that, and then in the same breath talk about how disgusting it was for this larger lady to be wearing a belly shirt. And I'm just like, it just irritates me, because it's like, you don't have to look at that. Somebody likes that. And you were just complaining about them making the girl who was, built more typical model-ish, I guess you could say.
Yeah. More to their ideal, their personal ideal.
Way back long ago, being bigger used to be considered a thing of beauty. Like, there was paintings of women like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's being skinny is a thing of beauty. And hopefully one day it's just going to be everything's beautiful as long as you're healthy.
Yeah. So, I definitely I guess because I've grown up in Ohio, and we have festivals that kind of celebrate, we have like Comfest and stuff like that do it's not as freedom now, just because of certain regulations that have to be kept and whatnot.
Yeah.
But you're open to have your body painted and whatnot.
Yeah.
Can go without a shirt on in public in Ohio. You're not going to see it very often, just because in current day and age, that's just
taboo.
That's taboo. And I don't want to say it's asking for something to happen.
Definitely not.
But it's not asking for something, because you're not giving consent for anybody to do anything along those lines. But it gives
it's risky.
It's risky. Yes, we'll go with that.
Because while you don't consent, somebody might be a jerk, and it's like, I like that, I'm gonna make that mine, and that's not okay.
That is, yeah, definitely not. So, I mean, body positively, definitely, and be who you are. And if somebody can't accept that's who you are, then the person in your life, but you don't need to waste your efforts on trying to please that person. And
yeah,
I'm one of those people. I personally, I don't have a type. And I guess technically, if I think it's pansexual, because I go for more personality-wise, is what I'm initially attracted to.
Yeah.
But I could care less what you look like. Oh, what's in your pants? There could be a toaster down there for all I care. And yes, I said there could be a toaster down there. But it's one of those things, like, if I have a connection with you, I'm going to, do my best to keep that connection. If I don't have a connection with you, yes, we can still be friendly. Yes, we can still, maybe do something in a social environment. But I'm not going to, waste my time with the theme. You know, I don't want to spend time with people I'm not going to enjoy spending time with for, long periods of time.
Yeah.
But on that note, my internet is crapping out.
I noticed. Luckily, your things, it's not so bad. It kind of has this delay on what you say to where it's like, I mean, the
Okay,
words
so
go
it's not
by
too
faster.
terrible.
You can still understand it, and we apologize to anyone who watches this or is watching this. What can you do?
Yeah.
But
I'm
thank you.
blaming this totally on my mom's internet right now because I'm piggybacking off of her.
Oh, okay.
So, so, but on that note,
Yes, thank you so much for joining us today.
I hop off.
Yeah. Before you
And
do, is there?
not alone. Totally had a.
Oh, I guess we're losing you. So, if you have anything you want in the,
I heard is there.
okay. I guess we're losing her, so we'll have anything that she wants to add later, where you can find her if she has anything you want to find her on, and I guess we'll have to thank her. Maybe she's watching. Thank you so much for joining us, and yeah, if you want to find a group, want to find a circle, there's plenty of resources, and if you want more information on this, I will try to. You can either contact me or I'll try to leave some resources. But thank you all so much for watching, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. That's all for now.